Okay, hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I feel like it's been ages since I last posted something, but it might not have been that long. It might just be me ventilating, I don't know. But I feel like I'm not posting in ages. I was supposed to get a vlog up a couple of days ago, but that didn't seem to happen. So I'm sorry about that, but I've come with a very different video today, and the Gabby show actually inspired me to do this video because I've literally been watching her storytime videos like all morning, so I really needed to make this because I have a lot of interesting stories that have happened to me in my life, but I feel like this one is the most infuriating story that I'm probably gonna ever tell you guys, because it's sad and it's upsetting, but it infuriates me the most because you guys will just see why. So yeah, make sure you like and subscribe to me if you've not already done so, and if you want more storytime videos, depending on how this one goes, then just let me know. Basically, this is a story about a toxic friendship, and I do believe I was in a toxic friendship. I've never been in a toxic friendship before, and I'm going to call it toxic because you guys will just see how the story comes along, why it was toxic, and still to this day I still try and speak to this person, but I don't know whether I should give her the benefit of the doubt to still speak to her. I'm actually quite surprised I do speak to her now because she's done so many bad things to me in my past that so many people just tell me I need to just leave her alone, and because we were best friends for 7 years, I'm kind of having a tough time letting that go, so that's probably the reason why I'm still connected to her a little bit, but I still really hate her with like everything that I possibly own. And please excuse my burnt shoulders, like I got sunburned the other day, so it looks a bit awkward, so please try and ignore that. But yeah, I'm not going to name this person in this video. I'm just going to call her Katie because I don't really want to say her name so you guys can find her and stuff like that. I don't want to give her any fame or anything from this. I'll give her any of the spotlight, so I'm just going to call her Katie. So she's called Katie. Basically, me and Katie went to high school together, and this is when I met Katie. I met Katie in high school, and we were best friends for a whole of 7 years. So that's a really long time to be friends with someone, and she is the longest friendship I've ever had. So I really trusted this person, and she was just so friendly and so honest, and she would just always tell me everything about her life, and she would tell me what gets her down and stuff like that, and she would just always confide in me when I needed the most, and I would always do the same to her. So I felt like we had a really deep connection with each other, considering, you know, if you're friends with someone for 7 years, that's kind of a long time to be friends with someone. You really do think you would know a person deep down anyway, considering you know probably everything about them and stuff like that. But I really thought I knew Katie. I really thought I knew her, but clearly not. Our friendship was great. Like, I'm not gonna lie, our friendship from all the way through high school, our friendship was great. We never argued. If we did about like the pettiest little things, like if she was just nick one of my makeup things or anything like that, it's just petty little things, or about boys, you know, just the typical things that girls like to rant about and pet about, just the little things that don't really matter in high school. But that's about it. We had a great friendship. Everyone in high school knew we were best friends. We went everywhere together. There was literally not a place I can think of where we didn't go together. If she wanted to go shopping, she would always be the first one to text me. We'd always go cinema together. She would always come around mine, have sleepovers. She met all my family. My mum really liked Katie, because my mum and Katie built a really good relationship up, and I really liked that about them, because none of my friends have ever been able to get with my mother like that, and it was really nice just to see that. And my mum always saw Katie as like her second daughter, and she would always go out of her way to make sure she had stuff and everything like that. So that's why Katie kind of means a lot to me, or did mean a lot to me. But yeah, all the way through high school, everyone knew we were best friends. Like, people used to always say to us we're gonna be best friends forever and stuff like that, just because of the way we acted and just everything like that. Like, we were just always together. So but then after we left high school, we went to college. We did go to the same college, but we didn't both apply for the same colleges. She got turned down the first one, so our second choice was the one that I chose. So we ended up going to the same college, but doing completely different courses. So we ended up drifting apart a little bit in that time. But this is when it starts to get a little bit strange, shall I say. Because we're doing two different courses and stuff like that, we're obviously going to drift apart and obviously have new friendship groups, which is obviously understandable, you know. You're in college, things like that are bound to happen. But I always thought me and Katie would always stay secluded together, considering that's what we always did. And for the first year in college, that's what we kind of did do. She introduced me to her friendship group, I introduced her to mine. We would always still grab coffee and stuff like that before classes, and it would always just be just us two. But I had a feeling from the very start that her friendship group didn't like me. I don't know what it was, but I just had a feeling they didn't like me. And I was right. I was completely and utterly right. They didn't like me, and I don't even know why. They didn't even say a reason why they didn't like me. They just said that I was too bitchy. I'm like, you've never even spoke to me or anything like that, and apparently I'm too bitchy. But just because of the way they looked, just because of the way I looked, apparently. I look like a bitchy person. Like, I don't get how you can just rate someone from how they look, but okay. But she always just told me to ignore it and stuff like that. But things started getting a bit serious when it's kind of made impact on me, because Katie decided one day she was not going to be in college. I know now why she didn't go to college that day. But she always attended college and everything like that, so for her to not attend college, that was a bit weird for her. And I messaged her about it, and she said that she was ill. But later on that day, when I had my college break, I got a phone call from an unknown number. And I don't always answer unknown numbers because I never know who it is, and I get really paranoid, so I don't like to answer unknown numbers. But I answered it, but I didn't speak or anything until they spoke first, so I knew who it was. And it was a voice I've never ever heard before in my entire life. It was a girl. I do know who it was now, but for this situation, I'm just gonna call her Chloe. I'm just gonna call her Chloe. But yeah, this Chloe rang me, and she wasn't really being very nice to me down the phone, and I didn't even know who it was, bearing in mind. So this person didn't even know me, I didn't even know her, I never even met her before in my life. And she just started saying random shit about my life that I only told one person. Like, only one person apart from my partner knows all this shit in my life. She knew who I was dating, she knew basically most of my secrets, she knew how I dressed, she knew what college I went to, and I didn't even know this person. So automatically it was either my partner told Chloe, or it was Katie who told Chloe about all this random shit in my life that I only confide to in two people, because these two people, bearing in mind, are the two people I trust most out of the people in my entire life. I have really bad trust issues because of Katie to this day. I only just trust my partner. I do trust some of my friends, but obviously with some things I'm obviously not going to trust them with, but that's just because Katie has made me feel like I can't trust people because of this story. So, and I didn't know Katie was with Chloe over the phone until I heard her laugh in the background. They were saying really horrible stuff about me and being really abusive down the phone. I didn't even know this person, so I didn't really know what to say. I just kind of just sat there listening to it on my college break. And then I heard Katie laugh in the background with loads of other girls. And I literally just my brain just went red. Like, it just flashed red, because this person was saying loads of abusive stuff down the phone to me. And bearing in mind, if like, you know, a best friend of 7 years, if someone's being really abusive to you and they are there, and, you know, bearing in mind, Katie must have given Chloe my number, because this person didn't have my number, they didn't own my number, and because Katie was there, I'm presuming she gave her my number. So she gave her my number for her to give shit to me down the phone. So bearing in mind, that's not a really good best friend thing to do, and to even laugh about it because apparently she thought it was a joke is even worse. And that's what infuriated me the most, because she told me that, oh, it was just a joke, why can't you ever take a joke, because like apparently I take things too seriously all the time. But to be quite honest, if that happened the other way around, I'm pretty sure she would have been acting the same way I would have been. And me and her fell out quite a while after that, and I kind of didn't forgive her until later on. And to be quite fair, that should have been the first warning sign that I shouldn't have forgiven her, but I did. I gave her plenty more chances after that. But the next time, but that was just one thing that should have put me up about her, that my friendship with her was toxic. But it wasn't, because later on, a few other things started to happen, and it doesn't usually bother me until it affects my relationship, because sometimes me and my partner argue, which, you know, what relationship doesn't argue, you know? Really, if you're in a relationship with someone, you're bound to argue. No one's got a perfect relationship. And I used to always confide in Katie with all the arguments that me and my partner were having. So like, if we ever argued about something, she would be always the first person I should go to, because she always used to give the best advice and stuff like that. But ever since she was hanging around with her new best friends, the only advice she could give me is that I shouldn't be with my boyfriend anymore. She said, if you're having so many arguments and everything like that, and it doesn't make you feel happy, which, bearing in mind, I never said once to her that he never made me feel happy. Because when you argue, you know, you just argue, you get caught up in the moment and stuff like that. But I never said to her once that he didn't make me happy. I just told about our arguments and stuff like that. But she, bearing in mind, knew how madly in love I am about this guy, had the cheek to say to me, to my face, while I was nearly in tears over an argument that we just had, to say to me that I shouldn't be with him anymore. And she said that on like 3 occasions during our whole friendship, that I shouldn't be with this guy. Bearing in mind, she's the one who got me with this guy in the first place, because apparently we would look good together. And 2 years down the line, we are still together, so clearly something must have gone right. But to have your own best friend just sit there and say to you that you shouldn't be with your own boyfriend anymore, that's kind of really shitty thing to say. And best friends, you're not supposed to do that. Like, I'm not an expert in friendships or anything, but like, if one of your friends says to you you shouldn't be with your partner, knowing they make you happy just because of a stupid argument, that's the best advice you can give me. That is total bullshit. Like, if I went to anybody and said that, I'm pretty sure that they would be the exact same way. And I don't let anybody tell me who to date and who not to date, whether it's best friend or not best friend. But I kind of just let that one slide. I never said anything to her about it, even though she said it on several occasions. But I always had the sneaky suspicion that she did like my boyfriend at one point. I still to this day do still think that she still liked my boyfriend, even just a little bit. I don't have any proof of this, but to this day I do feel like he did like her. I know that my boyfriend never did like Katie, but I do think because of her behaviour, and because her and my boyfriend were really close, because, like, you know, they were friends before I even got with him, so they were really close and stuff like that, and just the behaviour kind of made me think that she liked him. So her edging me away from my boyfriend was kind of me thinking that she wanted him even more. But I don't know what to think about her anymore, or even this friendship. Like, this friendship doesn't exist anymore because she's done so many things to twist it and make it wrong that it shouldn't even be a friendship anymore. So, but yeah, we started to hang out more often, and I got this app called LiveMe. Many of you people might know it. A lot of famous people use it. It's just a broadcasting app, and I got it because I wanted to broadcast and show off my inner self away from YouTube, because I don't really do YouTube that often, but I do broadcast a lot. So I got this app and I told Katie about it, because I figured that she might want to do that too, because she did like to broadcast and stuff like that with me. And everything was all nice and everything like that until I hit my 20,000 fan mark. I reached 20,000 fans on the LiveMe app, and as soon as I hit that, a couple of days later, she started giving me shit again, saying that, oh, I can't broadcast, you shouldn't have the app, you're just getting it for attention, you're just doing it for the money. I'm like, no, I'm getting an app to express myself, you know, just like everybody else does. I mean, what can't you see about that? I've been telling you this for ages, and even she got the app. So she was telling me things that I've been doing wrong on the app, but yeah, she's got the app too, because I influenced her to get the app, knowing that she would like it, because you know that's what best friends do, you know. And for her to say to me once I hit 20,000 that, you know, my fans don't appreciate me, they don't like me, they're only following me so because I'm pretty and stuff like that, and I do my makeup and everything from the camera, and I wear like explicit clothes, which I didn't once wear explicit clothes. I mean, wow, shoulders are on show. Wow. Because a couple of days later, my account got suspended from LiveMe, which automatically I jumped to the conclusion that it must have been Katie, because no one else I know would have got me suspended, considering the day before I got suspended, she was on my broadcast giving me shit, saying I'm a slut, I'm a slag, you can't even do your makeup right, all these people are just on here because they want to see some action and stuff like that. I'm like, no, they aren't on here because they have always supported me from the very first day that I started LiveMe, and it's always the same fans I always have. Like, every fan that comes into my broadcast, I recognize their name because they have been on my broadcast like since the very beginning, and it means so much to me that people watch me, and people from the LiveMe app now understand my life because I've told them so much about my life, and every time I come on they ask me about my boyfriend and stuff like that. Like, they actually care about my life, they actually care what I'm doing, they want to know about my job, they want to know about my boyfriend and stuff like that. They actually care. So it's not as if, you know, there's random people. Like, they actually do care, and they have been there since the very beginning of my broadcast. They don't just leave, they are there from the very beginning. And I don't think she liked that, because from her account she didn't have that many fans, and I hit 20,000, and I think she just hates seeing me happy. Like, I couldn't have anything with her without her saying something about it, just because I had to be one better than her. But she knew I had self-confidence issues. I'm self-conscious about my body. I have confidence issues. I don't like to be on camera sometimes. It's took me so long to be on camera. She knows how shy I am because she's known me ever since high school. She knows everything about me. So from her, I would expect her to understand and respect me at least, of why I have these apps, why I do YouTube. Bearing in mind, I'm the one who influenced her to make a YouTube channel. She has now got a YouTube channel because of me, because I wanted her to express herself in ways that I do, because to make her a better person in life, to, you know, make something of herself that she always said to me she always wanted to do. And I wanted to make that happen for her, because that's what best friends are supposed to do. And she knew the reason why I had the apps was to express myself, because I feel like I can't express myself in any other way to anybody. Not even my own friends, my family, my own boyfriend. I feel like the only way to express myself is on YouTube or on a broadcasting app, to let people see a side of me that no one else sees, like the good part of me. And like, so that was like one of the many things that she did do. Like, she didn't want me to have a boyfriend. She got her friends to throw abuse at me. She wouldn't let me have a broadcasting app. And if that wasn't enough, which it should have been for me, and I should have really cancelled her off as a friend altogether, but because I'm a really nice person and I'm literally too nice for my own good, anybody who knows me knows this. Like, I am too nice. I will forgive people for the dumbest shit because I'm just too nice, and I always see the good in people. So that's kind of like a bad thing as well, because I feel like people take advantage of that way too often, which I think Katie did, and I think Katie now knows. Not to get on the wrong side of me, because I did end up telling her straight at the very end of it, because I had enough. She had pushed me to my limits, and today she did decide to not come into Primark, and the excuse that she used was that her granddad was dead, so she had to stay home and go to his funeral. So she got a week off because her granddad passed away. Bearing in mind, to this day, her granddad is very much still alive, and the only reason why she used that excuse to get a week off was because her group of friends encouraged her to not come into work because they thought it was a better idea to go and chav around the big Asda and, you know, be like the chavs that she was, really. Because with this group of friends, they were getting Katie to do loads of stuff that she wouldn't usually do, like drugs and alcohol and stuff like that. She was just showing a bit more of it in herself, really, because she always used to drink alcohol, but drugs is never a thing that I thought Katie would ever do. So she was off work for a while because her granddad had passed away, but her granddad was very much still alive because her mum told me, and I'm pretty really close with her. I must have been so madly desired of her, like, to have her as a friend, and I didn't want to lose her as a friend, that I literally did anything. Like, if she went out with a group of boys, I would go out and join her with a group of boys. If she told me to wear this, I would wear that. If she told me to do something, I would do it, whether it was bad or wrong. I used to always stay out late because she always convinced me to stay out late and to not go back home until later on, and to make up an excuse to my mother that she would believe. I used to always lie to my mum about where I was because Katie and I wanted to go somewhere and stuff like that. Just the littlest things, and she made me into a really bad person. My boyfriend didn't even want to be around me sometimes because I was turning to this person, like my behaviour was reflecting onto him, and I felt really bad when I realised the person I was becoming, and I really didn't like the person I was becoming, and that was all because of her. I was just so toxicated in this friendship that I didn't realise who I was becoming for her. So I decided to get rid of her out of my life completely, because she used to steal my things, she used to steal my makeup, she's stolen some money from me, and she's always denied it as well. Bear in mind, I used to pay a lot of things for her. She still owes me money to this day, but I'm never ever gonna get it back, obviously. And yeah, the moral of the story is that even if you've had a best friend for years and years and years, you really can't trust people in this world. And I'm really sorry if this video is really long. I'm sorry I've been ranting for too long, but this story time had to happen. It just had to. This girl just infuriates me, and yeah, just if you have a best friend, you've known her for like 7 or 8 years or anything like that, or even more, do trust them, but when they do things like littlest things in your friendship to make them think otherwise, then that is the time we need to separate and go apart from that person, even if you think and know in your heart that they're a good person. Because I thought my Katie was a good person, and she really wasn't. She didn't turn out to be a very nice person at all, and she made a good person like me turn into a really bad person. So yeah, make sure you give this video a like if you like these storytime videos. I have plenty more where that came from. I have been through many situations in my life that I want to share with you guys, and this was just the very first one because it's the juiciest and the most infuriating one. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys very soon. Mwah.